Hey, Sherri Brown here, coming at you live from sherrybrowncoaching.com. 4 success tips that will not only help you in life, but will take you farther in business as well. Tip number 1 is don't be an a-hole. There's no point in being a jerk to somebody else, and I'm going to share a little story with you, okay? So I've got a friend. She is the sweetest woman, and within the past 2 weeks, she lost her father. Her father died on a Wednesday. On Thursday, she found out that she had a spot on her brain. Now, it's really easy when we're stressed out or maybe we're frustrated and, we're going along and you're on the phone with somebody and something's not going your way, and so you're just kind of jerkish about it. And this is what I want you to realize, you never know what's going on in someone else's life. You don't. And so it's the saying that if you cannot add to somebody's life, don't take away from it. My tip number 2, and that is don't be an asshole. And what I mean by that is don't be someone who is constantly going out there asking for information and someone's giving you their time and they're helping you out, but then you never want to take or implement the advice that they give you, So if you don't plan on taking anybody's advice, whether that be business advice or personal advice or whatever that is, just don't waste their time if it's not something that you're ever going to, implement, because it's just going to save everybody a little bit of time, right? 3, here's another tip. Now, this is also a great team building tip as well for those of you who maybe are growing teams, and that is to not give unsolicited advice. Now, one key is before you go and start giving somebody or sharing advice to somebody, it's always good to ask their permission. Number 1, if you're just giving unsolicited advice to somebody who doesn't want it, know that it's wasting your time. It's not a good use of your time. And, for a lot of us, especially in business, maybe if we're growing a team, I made this mistake years ago, and even last year before I really started diving into, different, more effective ways, is I would try to just give advice to my team and tell them what to do without even seeing if they were open to it, right? So it was a big waste of my time. For me, I have a lot of different trainings. I've written a lot of blog posts, have a lot of videos. So if I'm talking to somebody and I'm asking them some questions, maybe figuring out what they're struggling with, take for instance, say they're struggling with recruiting. Now, I don't just throw out a training and say, hey, this is great. I'll usually ask their permission and say something like, well, hey, I actually have a training on that might help you out. So if that's something you'd like, let me know and I'm happy to share it. Okay, so you're going to have people who become a lot more receptive instead of you just being someone throwing out advice that's unwanted. My 4th tip is to be nice and not demanding, okay? And it's like that saying goes, I'm sure you've heard it, and that is, it's easier to catch flies with honey than with vinegar, right? So don't try to be really demanding of somebody's time, and be nice. So if you want something and you want to go further in life, it's going to be a lot easier for you if you simply show appreciation and you're nice. And I'm going to share a little story with you. My husband, he went on a fishing trip and he was gone all last week. And when he first started searching for houses, he was not able to get one. There was one particular house he really wanted, and he contacted them and they're like, no, we may have somebody who's getting it. And he wasn't rude to him at all, but he just kind of let it go. And so I was like, well, let me see what I can do. And so I contacted the guy, messaged him, was super nice, and I was just saying that's totally okay if it's already rented out. If it's not, I would really appreciate if you kept me in mind. We're willing to add a few extra days if that's better for you. And within like 24 to 48 hours, the guy had messaged me back saying that if we wanted it, we could have it. You have to remember that you are speaking to a person. And although, yes, learning different skills as far as, when it comes to business, skills are great. Skills are awesome. Learning how to prospect, learning how to close. But this is one skill that I think is more important than anything, and that's learning psychology, learning behavior, and learning how to deal with people. And one of the greatest books that I've read is the book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. I hope you have an awesome day. I really appreciate every single one of you who have taken the time out of your day to hop on here. If you would like more tips like these, you can head on over to sherrybrowncoaching.com. And until next time, guys, bye.